Hi and welcome back. We are on question 10 of the 2012 November exam for Namibian Senior Secondary Certificate Higher Level Paper 1. Question 10 reads, a group of 560 students was tested to find the distance that each student could run in 5 minutes. The results of the test are shown on the cumulative frequency curve. Okay, this is the number of students and here is the distance they ran in 5 minutes. Using the given curve, find for this distribution the median. Okay, what is a median? A median is the value halfway. If you arrange the data from small to large, as it is here, it's the middle value of the data. So we see it was 560 students. So we take 500, let's do number A. We take 560 students divided by 2. That'll give us the position of the median. So 560 divided by 2 is 280. So that is the position of the median. That's not the median itself, right? So we go to 280. We see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So 100 total. Let's actually do that. So each little block is 100 divided by 5, which gives us 20. So each little block has a value of 20. Now we go to 280. So it's 200, 220, 240, 260, 280 right there. And we draw a line that connects with this one. And then from there we draw straight down. Straight down. Okay, now we have to find what is this value. So let's see. The difference between each of these, there's 100 spots here, and there are 10 values. So each little block is 10. Okay, so that's 1100, and then we go to almost 1110, almost to the second block there. So that's, let's say it's roughly 1110. So I'm going to say 1108. It looks like it's just a little bit below that 10, or 1105, somewhere there. As long as they can see what you drew, your answer, if your answer looks roughly right, that's fine. Okay, so they're not going to mark 1109 correct and mark 1108 wrong. There will be a range that they'll mark right. Alright, so that was question A. Question B. Question B says, find the number of students who ran at least 1150. Okay, so we go to 1150. So 1150 is halfway between 1100, 1200, 1150. It's exactly halfway. So from here, we draw a vertical line straight up until we, oopsie, I'm just going to redraw that. My apologies. So straight up until we reach that point, and then from there, again, straight left until we find that value. Oh, let me draw that again. Right there. Okay. So now what is that value? Well, it's 400, 420, 440, 460. 460. Okay, so at least 1150. So at least means 1150 or more. So that is this part here. So what does that mean? We need to find how many are in here. So from 460 to 560, that's 100 students, right? That's 100 students that ran between 1150 and the maximum value here, which we don't know yet. Okay, there's 100 students. Question C. Question C, what color? Let's do this color. Question C, the 70th percentile. Okay, so that's the same idea as the median. 70th percentile, we take 70% of the total, which was 560. How do we calculate 70% of 560? Well, percent, as we saw earlier in one of the videos, it's 70% per 100 times 560. So that gives us 392. So equals 392. So that value is where we'll go to measure from. So 392. So that's 320, 340, 360, 380. So 392 is about halfway between these two values. So from here, we measure until we reach the line, and from there straight down again. Straight down until we get there. So that looks to me like about 1120 roughly. Okay, so 1120. Good. Interquartile range. What is the interquartile range? Interquartile range, let's do interquartile range. So that is the third quartile minus the first quartile, Q3 minus Q1. So Q3, to find that position, well, so let's write down here position. So the position of Q3 is 3/4 of the total. And the position of Q1 is 1/4 of the total. So in our case, we've got 3/4 of 560 and we've got 1/4 of 560. And again, this is just the positions. So let's work out those positions. That is 3/4 of 560, which is 420. 420 for Q3, and for Q1, we've got 1/4 of 560, which is 140. 140. Okay, so those are our positions. Now we need to go find the values. So 420, it's 400, 420 is on this line. Again, draw a vertical line until we reach there, and from there straight down. So that looks to me like, ooh, what is that? 30, 40, 30, 20. No, that can't be. 110, 20, 30. Yeah, 1130. Okay, so Q3 is 1130. And then for Q1, we go from 140, so it's 100, 120, 140, until we reach the line and draw from there straight down. So again, 1100, 1090, 1080. So that is 1080 for Q1. 1080. And then we said the interquartile range is when we subtract these two from each other. So we do 1130 minus 1080. And that is 50. So that is 50, the interquartile range. Great. And then the final question for this video. Yes, final question for this video. One student was chosen at random. What is the probability that the student ran more than 1,100 meters? Okay, so for more than 1,100 meters, that's again pretty similar to question B, right? Number of students ran at least 1150. Now we're just doing 1,100. So we go from 1,100, measure straight up until we reach this line, and then straight left. That's an easy one to read off. That's 200. So this value is 200. Now more than this. So that's the difference between the 560 and the 200. So that will give us how many students? Let me write down here question E. We want to do 560 students minus 200 students, which we measured here, which will give us 360 students. Okay, so far we know 360 students ran more than 1,100. So what's the probability if you choose a student that it was part of this 360? So to do that, we're going to say 360 divided by 560. That'll give us our probability. Okay, so that can simplify to 36 over 56. But again, you can just type this in your calculator. It should simplify it by itself. This we can say, let's divide both of these by what can we divide it? 2, which will give us 18 over 28. We can divide that by 2 again, which gives us 9 over 14. So that is the probability, 9 over 14. Let's just make sure on the calculator, just to make sure I'm not lying to you, over 560, 0.6, let me just copy and paste this. I'm not getting a fraction on this calculator. So that, and let's see what happens if we type 9 over 14. It looks pretty much the same to me. Okay, there we see, it's the same value. So 9 over 14, that's the probability. Perfect. And that's it for this video. And only, I think, 2 more questions to go. 11, 12. 11 and 12 to go. And then we're done with this paper.